Today is the day. What's up guys, how you doing? Arekkz here and welcome to Nintendo Switch Day. I am so incredibly excited. It is really early right now. Nintendo have just finished their hour-long Switch presentation, and in that we got to look at the release date, the price, the console configurations, the hardware, the games, the launch lineup, loads of stuff like that. So in this video, I'm going to condense all of that and tell you guys everything we currently know about Nintendo Switch based on the information we got from the presentation. That way, if you missed it, or you want a kind of super condensed version, then this is for you. It's also worth noting that after I've made this video, I'm getting on a train going to London to go to a hands-on event to go hands-on with the Nintendo Switch, the games. I'll be able to record some videos, hopefully some direct capture. So that also means that later on today, this weekend, and of course over the coming weeks, I will have lots more Nintendo Switch videos. So if you guys are hyped for Switch, make sure you stay tuned because there is a lot more coming. But anyway, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's dive into the video. So if you do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know if you guys watched the conference, what your favorite aspect was, what you're most excited for, anything like that. But to begin with, let's start with launch and price. The Nintendo Switch is coming out on March the 3rd, 2017. That is not long away now. At the time of making this video, that is a little under 2 months, so super exciting. And as for the price point, they announced it in yen and dollars. So in yen, it is 29,980 yen. In dollars, that is $299. And if you then currency convert, that works out to be about 245 British pounds. Typically, they tend to round those things up, so I would imagine that we'd be looking at either a £250 or a £300 price point in the UK. But regardless, that is a pretty awesome price for this console. There is a lot of stuff to it, but that is still a pretty appropriate price. So with that out of the way, let's now turn our attention to the console. So first things first, this is an absolute megaton. Nintendo officially announced on stage that there will be no region lock on the Switch. You guys are probably aware that somewhere around the kind of Nintendo DSi, they began to introduce region lock, so you then couldn't play games from other regions. Really annoying, and they've now decided that that is a thing of the past. So if you buy a Nintendo Switch in the UK and a game comes out in America beforehand, you can buy it from America, play it on your Switch. If a game comes out in Japan, you can buy it, play it on your Switch. They did state that they are removing region lock for most things, so it could well be like, say, Xbox was in the past, where select titles could be region locked if they decided to, but for the most part, region lock is gone. So if Monster Hunter comes out and say it's only in Japan, then if you guys want to play it, that is an option. On top of that, there will also be a new online service for Nintendo Switch. This will be much more involved. It will of course allow you to play online with your games. It will allow you to invite friends to play with you. You can then set appointments, you can chat with friends, all while enjoying online matches. It is, however, worth noting that to begin with, the service will be free or have a free trial, but in the fall of 2017, it is going to switch over to a paid service. And honestly, I'm actually happy to hear this, just because if you look at like Xbox Live or you look at PlayStation Network, which is now a fully paid service, you get a lot more as a result because they are of course able to use that money to invest into the kind of infrastructure. So hopefully with a paid online service, it could actually mean Nintendo are getting serious about online gaming, which means they'll hopefully have, like, you know, decent online services, decent party services, things like that. So that's incredibly exciting. But either way, online on the Switch is going to be a big thing. Moving on to battery life, of course, when you take the console out of the dock, they said the battery life will vary depending on games, and it will range from anywhere as low as 2.5 hours to 6.5 hours, again, depending on the game you played. They demonstrated Zelda and they benchmarked that at around 3 hours, which is actually kind of respectable. If you think about taking a laptop out and playing a game on that, it doesn't last that long, so 3 hours playing something like Breath of the Wild on the go, I'm actually pretty cool with that. Either way, again, varies based on game. You can also play the Nintendo Switch in portable mode whilst charging the system, so if you want to kind of sit down on your sofa and still plug it in, then of course you can just use it like a portable console, and it also charges via USB-C, so it'll be a lot quicker than before. Then I'm just going to roll through a few specs that they listed off in the presentation. The console has a capacitive touch panel. It of course supports Wi-Fi multiplayer battles. Up to 8 consoles can connect for local wireless gaming, so if you guys played Nintendo 3DS, you'll know that you can kind of sync up locally and connect for multiplayer games. The Switch of course supports that, and this time up to 8 consoles. On the side, you of course have the Joy-Cons, which can disconnect to be individual controllers. One of these has an NFC reader in it, so you can actually read Amiibo from the Joy-Con. And on the left-hand side, the mystery button that for a long time people have been wondering what it is, that is a screenshot button, and later down the line, that'll also allow you to capture video, which you can then share on social media. Again, if they've got a better online service, hopefully you can do it straight from the console. The Joy-Cons also have gyros and accelerators in them, so you can actually use them as motion controllers, and there are also going to be 2 Joy-Con colours, so the default grey, but you'll also have neon red and neon blue. This of course goes part and parcel with the fact that they're going to be multiplayer games, so you can kind of discern between who's using what. but those two options will be in different packs. And I'll speak about that at the latter part of this video when we speak about product configurations. On top of that, there will be a Joy-Con grip accessory, which will slide on the side, and that will come with a wrist strap and enhanced shoulder buttons, so if you are going to use it as a standalone controller, it'll be a little bit more comfortable to use. The Joy-Cons also have IR sensors in the bottom, and these can sense distance and also certain hand gestures. They gave an example that the Joy-Con can actually tell the difference between rock, paper, scissors, so there'll of course be interesting ways to play the game using those. And furthermore, it has improved what they're calling HD rumble, and the rumble in the Joy-Cons is so precise that they say it kind of feels like sort of an ice cube dropping into a glass, and you can then sort of like feel different numbers of ice cubes and the glass filling with water. So this is their sort of new rumble tech, and they're creating some bespoke games and bespoke experiences to kind of truly show this off. So with that being said, let's now talk about the games. Now, interestingly, from the launch presentation, there are only actually 2 games they listed as launch titles. However, there are a lot more that are in the launch window and hopefully therefore aren't going to be too far away. So of course the big boy one, the one that everyone wants to know about, the one that I am personally so excited about, you guys know this, I absolutely love this series. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a launch title. There have been various rumours floating around prior to this about it potentially slipping, being in different regions, but they said on stage, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a launch title, March 3rd, 2017. On top of that, the other launch title that they demonstrated is a game called 1-2 Switch. This is just a party title. It is designed to show what the HD Rumble can do with the Joy-Cons, and it's basically got like a series of different games that hinges on reaction, so you don't actually have to look at the screen, you tend to kind of react to the controller, things like, you know, Wild West Duel, tennis games, other kind of party games, things like that. So that's a basic title. It's definitely going to be marketed more towards families. It's probably something they're going to bundle into the console, but either way, 1-2 Switch is another launch title. After that, the rest of these are in the launch window. They have a game called Arms, which is basically a boxing game with extendable arms. Again, this is to kind of show off the HD Rumble with the Joy-Cons. This is said to launch in spring. They confirm Splatoon 2, which is going to be a summer launch title. This comes with new weapons, abilities, control methods. Like number 1, it'll also include post-launch DLC maps, weapons, events, etc. They also announced Super Mario Odyssey. This is the 3D Mario game we saw in the very initial launch trailer. Really, really exciting. The quick synopsis is that Mario has basically jumped out of the Mushroom Kingdom and gone into the real world, so he explores loads of different places, cities, forests, some places you might recognize, and he's also got a hat, which is his own character. So we'll find out more about that later, but for the time being, that is the holiday season. They also announced Xenoblade 2, Fire Emblem Warriors. Over 80 third-party games are in development, some of which are Dragon Quest X and 11, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, Octopath Traveler, Shin Megami Tensei, Skyrim, and also Travis from No More Heroes is back. Suda51 went on stage. He said the game itself isn't completely decided yet, but Travis is basically back in another sort of style game like that, so expect to see that at some point. And of course, EA went on stage to talk about FIFA Switch. So that is of course a small sample of the games. There will of course be lots more, and hopefully once we get a little bit closer to launch, they'll be a little bit more clear with regards to what is exactly a launch title, because as it currently stands, just based on the presentation, it looks to be Zelda and 1-2 Switch. Not that that bothers me, because the only thing I really need is Zelda, but it is still important to have a strong lineup if we really want to take the console seriously. So hopefully we find out more about that, but for the time being, that is that. So the last thing I want to talk about is the product configurations. If you guys want to pre-order this, pre-order should be going live today, unless you're in Japan, in which case they go live on the 21st of January. In the box, if you buy a Nintendo Switch, you will get the Nintendo Switch console, the left and right Joy-Cons, 2 Joy-Con wrist straps, the Joy-Con grip, which is of course the control pad that you slide the Joy-Cons in to turn it into a control pad, the Switch dock, an HDMI cable, and an AC adapter. There will, however, be 2 versions of this package, one with the standard grey Joy-Cons, or one with a blue and red Joy-Con. Kind of messing with my OCD there, I would prefer to have 2 red or 2 blue, but either way, those are your 2 options. There will also be a Pro controller available, and this will be sold separately. Furthermore, the Joy-Con wrist straps will also come in various different colours, again sold separately. So if you do want to match it up with your red and blue Joy-Cons, then you're going to have to buy them. And that, my friends, is pretty much it. That is everything we know about the Nintendo Switch based on the presentation. I will of course follow up at some point with a much more in-depth video speaking about all the technical specifications, all the kind of different game stuff. Everything else you basically need to know at some point over the coming weeks and whatnot, I will cover on the channel. But for the time being, if you missed the presentation, that is the lot. So be sure to keep it locked, because in a few hours I'm going to aim to have some videos up from the hands-on event. I'm not entirely sure what I can go hands-on with just yet, but once I'm there, I've captured things, I'll come back and I'll be putting videos up. So if you're excited for Switch, keep it locked, stay here, because there's a lot more coming. Anyway, thank you for watching. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, a like would be super appreciated. Be sure to share it with your friends if anyone has missed the presentation. Take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.